Good morning, good evening. Welcome to the Four Direction. My name is Mary Apollo, and I'm the host for today. So today I have a special guest. She's a songwriter and also a singer and an advocate. She's going to tell us about her journey and early inspiration into art, and also how she get involved in human rights and performing in international stage. With me here in the studio is Sophia Angelica. Welcome, Sophia.
Hi, Mary. Thank you so much for the invitation and really happy to be here.
Thank you so much. It has been quite a long time.
Yes, it's been a long time. I remember it's been a while at one of the events that I sang at. We met.
Yeah, we met in the human rights,
Yes,
conference and the United Nations. Yeah, but
yes.
you have been doing wonderful. And also, congratulations for your new album, Angelica.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I released in beginning of 2023, but still,
So
since
good.
it was so many songs, still promoting through videos and many other things. But I do have another project coming up very soon.
Cool. Yeah, that's cool. So, just we start by take us back to your childhood, your early inspiration into art and music and acting, and also your mom is an actor, Suzanne Raven. She have the Raven Talent Management. Tell us about your early inspiration into music, please.
Yeah, of course. Well, I really began because of the influence of my family to some extent. Um, because everyone in my family are artists, whether that means musicians, actors, writers. My dad is a classical guitarist. My mom's an actress. My grandmother and great grandmother were both actresses. And my great uncle was one of the top five violinists in the world. I have a grandfather who was a comedian and an opera singer. So my family influence definitely has a lot to do with it. However, I was only 5 or 6 when I naturally started doing it by myself. It was never my family or my mom or anyone who was pushing me to do it. It just started coming out. I started writing a song randomly on a piece of paper. I started jumping on a stage if I could and start singing. It came really naturally, but definitely my mom, she has an acting school and a talent management for Hispanic kids and teens. It focuses on minorities and helping them grow within their artistic careers. And again, I was 6 when I started going with her every Saturday to her classes, mainly because she couldn't find anyone else to take care of me on Saturdays, so I would go with her. And I naturally would jump on the stage and start singing and start acting and wanting to be a part of it. And my mom went, "Oh no, she wants to be an artist. It's going to be hard." Because everyone knows the artistic career is very difficult. But I naturally got into it. I couldn't stop myself. I started writing, singing, acting, anything that you could imagine, and mainly taking classes in all of those three disciplines.
So I'm just so
Yeah. Oh my God, that was me when I was actually around 13 when I went to sing on Fox TV. Um, that happened from kind of a coincidence. I started singing for this organization called the Latino Center on Aging. Really, they saw me sing somewhere else. I think it was a family party of some sort. And they invited me to sing their theme song at their events that they have something called the Golden Age Awards every year. And I was, 13 little. I was like, sure, I'll sing that. They brought me to sing there the first year, and I started singing there yearly since then. But that first year, Fox TV happened to be there. And someone named Lou Leone from Fox TV, he was like, I want you to sing this song on the 4th of July on Good Day New York. And, little me, I'm like, this is a dream come true, of course. So that was really cool.
oh, cool. And then I think actually after that you went to the Academy of Performance of Art in New Jersey. You further up more your education in art. Can you tell us this about this experience? And
Yeah,
what did you learn? What have you learned?
of course. Yeah, I went to the Academy for Performing Arts in Scotch Plains, New Jersey. It's part of one of these VOTEC schools. That's what they call it, where each high school has a specialty. This specialty was particularly in theater and dance. At the time, they still didn't have music because it was a fairly new program. but I got into the theater program, and I learned a lot about theater, so much to the point where to this day, I use a lot of that knowledge to teach kids. So in my mom's acting school, now I teach acting, and I also teach voice and songwriting to kids, because I believe a lot in the importance of education in the arts, especially because there are a lot of scams out there. There are a lot of people just looking out to take your money, especially with kids or parents who don't have a lot of knowledge in this area and they don't know what's right or wrong. So what my mom's school has focused on all these years is giving quality education, and not, of course, raising awareness on the scams that do exist out there in the arts, where they put stuff that says you want to be a star, and it doesn't work that way. It's a lot of work and dedication, but yeah, I learned a lot in this school where I definitely developed a sense of confidence to be on a stage even more than I already did when I was little. But I learned a lot that I could pass on to other generations.
I know you teach in your mom's school, and you are a songwriter. So I think you are working more in developing the next generation talent. I just want to know how, if somebody who is interested to get involved in, like, to start a teaching career, a young person, what should they do, and how they can get their passion first, and how they can develop a career as an instructor in art.
Of course. Well, I started from experience, really. It's a different journey for everyone. I feel many people are like, no, you need to get like a master's degree and do all of that first. However, in the arts, it's very freeform. Of course, it's necessary if you want to teach in a college, or if you want to teach heavily in like a high school that's related to performing arts. But if it's more private lessons, and maybe art schools that exist wherever this person lives, a lot of it's based off of experience. Like, I learned a lot over the years from performing myself, and from working and collaborating with a lot of different people, and also from watching other teachers teach. So something that I would suggest is, we have, for example, a lot of interns in our school. We offer internships in which they could actually see different teachers' techniques and how they work. And part of it is taking a little bit of everything you learn from everything you've done, whether it's performing or collaborating or whatever it is, and combining it into your own version of teaching, your own technique. So, for example, in songwriting, I could never find a class when I was little that would actually teach me pop songwriting. It was all either focused on classical music or music theory or jazz, but that wasn't really my route, and it was hard to find something that actually focused on pop music, or just different genres, and where the focus was more on the creation of maybe the lyrics and the melody than on the sheet music. And it was hard to find that for me, and I never did. I found it when I was older. So I wanted to create something that would actually represent kids like me, where when I was little I wanted to learn, but instead I just learned by myself. I created my own version of songwriting. I learned from listening to music, from talking to other songwriters. So I decided to combine stuff that I've learned over the years from conversations I've had or experiences I've had to create something that would help the younger generation who wants to get into this and has no idea how.
That's wonderful. So, next year, did you find your passion working in human rights and addressing campaigns like bullying, discrimination? So, what motivates you to work in human rights at that early age?
Well, again, this is another coincidence, I suppose, but it became a passion. I sang at a family party when I was about 12 or 13, and Dr. Judy Kuryansky, who is the head of a mental health NGO at the UN, she happened to be there, and she saw me sing and came up to me and said, "You have to sing at the United Nations." And I'm 12, but I'm like, sure, this sounds like a lot of fun. Why not? the next week, I was at a women's empowerment conference singing a Whitney Houston song, sitting next to someone named Queen Mother and many political leaders. And it was quite an experience. I fell in love with it. I saw a bunch of people coming together from different countries, caring about the world and wanting to make a difference. And each person did it in their own way. So I said, why can't I do it in my own way through my passion, through music? And I developed this ideology that, hey, if you have a passion or a talent for something, um, besides using it, of course, for your own personal, commercial, whatever career, to use it for good, to use it to help others. And from that moment on, I got invited to perform at more conferences and more conferences, which further developed my passion for these causes. And as soon as I met Erica Rogers and Mary Shuttleworth and entered Youth for Human Rights International, I learned a lot more about human rights. And I truly believe in the power of music to make a difference. And what I really wanted to focus on was anti-discrimination because of the fact that I'm Latina and I've seen a lot of things happen over the years. For example, with the kids in my mom's school getting heavily bullied just because they're Hispanic or because they're Latino and they're in the arts. So it's something I became really passionate about. I've always believed in wanting to make a difference. I've always been very passionate about things being unfair and wanting to make them fair. So I realized that music can really make a difference in these things. And I saw it myself. The more that I got out there, the more that I performed. And the more that I got invited to perform, for example, in other countries like Taiwan or Thailand, where I did tours and that were related to human rights and music. And I would get kids come up to me and say that this one song finally made them realize that they should follow their dreams or that they no longer want to commit suicide. It's these really big things that you hear that really make you realize the impact that you're actually having through something as simple and beautiful as a song.
Oh, that's wonderful. I just want to, you went to international stages and performing, you sing the national anthem. How was that feel like when you sing the national anthem and the process of the performance itself? I was just taking, a master class in music, and I find out it's not just like you walk today and you go on the stage and you present. It requires a lot of preparation. So, what do you do to prepare before performing in a stage?
Ooh, well, there's definitely a lot of practice and vocalizing over the years. I feel like it becomes more natural to you, kind of just, yeah, this is just another day at work, just like anyone who has a full-time job. And it's because it becomes a part of you in a way. The more that you do it, the more it becomes almost a part of your personality. Like I can't separate myself from music now. It's like I can't imagine being me without my music or without performing. It's just a part of me now. But definitely, there's a lot of vocalizing that takes place, which is just vocal warm ups, which must be done before singing, especially any difficult songs, because you can hurt your voice otherwise. Fun fact, I lost my voice about a few months ago or half a year ago, and it was definitely traumatizing. So it's not fun. So that's why it's important to definitely vocalize before every performance, even if it's just a little bit to warm up. Just like when you stretch your body before doing any crazy activity. But vocalization as well as some mental preparation where depending on where you're going to be at, knowing your audience, knowing exactly who you're going to be talking to, and the genre of music definitely gives a hint to that. But the national anthem, which is what I sang in the Meadowlands, some sports games, as well as Yankee Stadium not too long ago. Of course, it was a little nerve-wracking because it's the first time that I sang the national anthem in a place as big as Yankee Stadium. But it was quite an amazing experience. And it's because there's no music behind you also. It's just this silence and you're the one who's filling the air with your voice. So it's definitely amazing, but that definitely takes some mental and vocal preparation, because the national anthem is a very difficult song, and that's definitely one of those songs that you want to make sure you don't hurt your voice on.
Oh, cool. So, what is like an inspirational songwriting day look like for you?
Like what a general, like I'm spending the day songwriting.
Yeah, if you're spending a whole day songwriting, how does it look for you from waking up in the morning and you go through the writing process? Can you take us through that, please?
Sure. I mean, I feel like some people do that. Like they wake up and they're like, I'm going to spend the day songwriting and this is what I'm going to do all day. Um, but in my process, it's a little different. It's more, sometimes it's when inspiration hits and I'll write in the middle of the night and it's 2 in the morning and I'm like, why am I up? But suddenly it's inspiration. I need to write. And maybe it takes me hours and it just happens by itself. I feel like it's more spontaneous for me. However, there are some times, of course, that I'm like, I need to write the song or I need to edit these songs. For example, I have an EP that I'm working on, and there are songs that I chose that I'm like, I need to edit these songs. So it feels more like scheduling to me, more like I'm going to schedule this amount of time to edit my songs. And it's the process varies. So sometimes the melody and the lyrics just come to me out of nowhere and I need to keep writing. And it's almost like I black out and then I go back to it and I'm like, oh, wow, I wrote that. Cool. Or sometimes it is very deliberate and on purpose. And I'm like, what word would go really well with this, or what would rhyme really well? And this is the message that I want to give with this song specifically. So, like for example, I wrote a song for my EP that I knew exactly what I wanted to say and why I wanted to say it, and that this is the song that needs to go in this EP. So I spent every night, maybe a couple hours, just kind of analyzing the situation, writing. The idea is to put pen to paper and just keep writing, because at the end of the day, um, ideas will just come to you without realizing it. And if you don't write all of them down, you never know where there might have been this really good idea. If you're thinking about it, and then you choose, maybe you left behind something that was gold and you had no idea. So for me, it ends up just being a lot of writing without thinking. Even though I might know what I want to say, coming up with a bunch of ideas. For example, when I teach the kids in my songwriting classes, some tools that help are bullet points. So bullet pointing maybe everything that has to do with that topic, or words that go with that topic, or emotions that go with that topic, or even just writing a short story that might be related to that topic. So anything to kind of get inspiration and juice flowing. But throughout the day, if I'm really working on a song, whether it's with a producer or by myself, it's a lot of that until I kind of reach this point where I'm comfortable with the song. After I edit it and I'm like, yeah, this is exactly how I want to do it. Then maybe I'll create a little demo on GarageBand or on Logic, one of these music programs, and I'll record my voice on it in my little studio, which I have right here.
I like your studio on the background. So I think it's also part of important of your mental preparation into singing and writing. You just you start this series of weekly original, and then you end up doing the songs of the week in your channel. So I want to know, like, do you have any songs of the week that you can perform for us now?
Right now. Well, I did that a lot during the pandemic, the weekly originals or songs of the week. And once the pandemic kind of came to an end, I guess things got busier in performing live and everything, that I didn't fully leave it behind, but I stopped doing YouTube as much and I started doing more social media like Instagram and TikTok and stuff like that to do more like smaller clips of songs. But yeah, I used to do a lot of that.
So can
With
you
songs.
sing for us something now? Something you're
Hmm,
comfortable singing, please.
things that come to mind. Well, okay. There's this song I really love by Christina Aguilera. It's a fun song, and I sing it at like a lot of my gigs. And that tends to be, I guess, song of the month for me. I could sing a little portion of it. All right. Clap. I could feel it from the start. Couldn't stand to be apart. Somehow you caught my eye. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Something moved me deep inside. Don't know what you did, boy, but you had it. And I've been hooked ever since. Told my mother, my brother, my sister, and my friends. Told the others, my lovers, both past and present tense. 'Cause I want everyone to know that you are mine and no one else is. Ain't no other man can stand up next to you. Ain't no other man the planet does what you do. You're the kind of guy girl finds in a blue moon. You got soul, you got class, you got style. Yeah, ain't no other man, it's true. Ain't no other man but you.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's a wonderful voice.
Thank
So
you.
I know that also from 2018, your brother gets sick and you sing a song, My Big Brother. I think that's also part of the music of an inspiration journey. So when did that idea come to you?
Right.
From
Well, that's definitely part of my advocacy. While I do focus a lot on anti-discrimination and anti-bullying, mostly when it comes to kids and the Latino community, I also focus a lot on awareness of health, specifically because of what happened to my brother. So yes, it was more 2019, but he's lived with kidney disease for most of his life. But in 2019, his kidneys failed and he needed to go on dialysis and he needed a kidney transplant. Now, usually those who are in need of a kidney transplant are on the waiting list for a very long time. It could be up to 8, 10 years even, which means they have to be on dialysis that whole entire time, which is really painful for most people. Um, so I helped the only way that I could think I could help, which was through music. So I wrote this song called My Brother Big Brother, and I released it along with a national campaign to help find my brother a kidney donor, and to raise awareness simply that anyone could live with just one kidney, that you really can be a kidney donor and save someone's life. Um, and the song 1 year later ended up working, and someone through Facebook, a friend of a friend, some kind of snowball effect, they saw the song and the campaign and remembered. And a year later, he had his kidney transplant. And now it's been 3 years, or a little more than 3 years since his kidney transplant, and he's doing perfectly fine. But that just goes to show the power of a song. And really, I wrote it as an ode to him, but as an ode to siblings in general, and the love between family. And so now I use that song to celebrate his health and his kidney transplant, but also to continue raising awareness on the situation that really there are so many people who are waiting for a kidney or for an organ donor. And there are definitely so many ways to help someone and save someone's life. And rather than them being on the waiting list for years and years and suffering, and some of them end up dying before they get their transplant. Luckily, my brother's young, so that wouldn't have particularly happened with him, but I'm just glad that he has his transplant now and that he's doing much better and that he's healthy and he's happy, and we're moving forward. And just love your family, guys. Love your siblings.
Wow, that's wonderful. I remember now when I think about your journey, you start singing at age 6, and now you are 24. You represent the international stage performers, and you perform, you travel, you speak. I just even we usually met in conference, and you have that energy to make everybody in the room feel your presence and sing and dance. And I sing at the last event, we sing and perform. You sing and we perform together on
Yeah.
the event. I just want to know, where do you get that determination of an energy of continuing your passion into art and into singing from? Because a lot of young people, they will start and they will quit easily. So just want people to benefit from your experience and what they can do.
Well, it is a very difficult road. It's still very difficult for me. It's a lot to navigate because as an independent artist, before you're signed or before you have a manager, for example, um, as an independent artist, you have to almost create your own team of people who help you with each individual thing. But also, there are a lot of independent artists that unfortunately don't have that team of people and they're doing everything themselves. I luckily do have a team that I'm very grateful for, but I still do a lot myself. It's a lot to navigate, from social media nowadays to video and photos to creating the music, and a lot of budget that goes into that, so a lot of investing and hoping that you make that money back in some way. So I could understand the quitting factor, in the sense that it is really difficult, and it's almost something that you really have to be sure that you are 100% passionate about, and that you can't imagine your life without it, to go into so deeply, because of how difficult the road can be. But if you are one of those people that you're like, this is something I can't imagine doing, I can't imagine not doing. It's something that I need to do for the rest of my life, and I was one of those people. I am one of those people. It becomes a part of you, like I said. So when I was 7, I already knew that this is what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. So because I can't imagine anything else, I need to keep going. It's I'd rather be happy doing something that I love, um, than be miserable for the rest of my life. So the thing to really reflect on is the passion that you have for what you're doing. Reflect on it and truly, truly believe in it and believe in yourself, and because the odds are that a lot of people believe in you. And it's been amazing to hear and to see how many amazing people believe in me. And that's partially what keeps me going. But life is also very unpredictable. So things can happen and you don't even realize that they're happening, and suddenly you're thrown into this whole new world. So that's kind of what happened to me with activism, and how advocacy found me. And I jumped headfirst into it because I loved the idea as well. So just to pay attention to the signs around you that the universe is giving you. And when you get an opportunity, when someone offers you an opportunity, just say yes. Just jump in, because that's what I did since I was younger. Any opportunity I would get, I would say yes and see what would happen and see where it would take me. And here I am now, and I've had the blessed opportunity to travel and to meet so many incredible human beings and to make a difference in other people's lives. And on top of it, to still continue releasing and creating my own personal commercial music, and kind of combining those two passions of advocacy and music. So just paying attention to the world around you, seeing what opportunities you're given, and jumping in. Um, and most importantly, having hope and faith and determination. Because if you quit and you are extremely passionate in this, and this is what you want to do, you never know when the next opportunity was going to come along to change your life. So I always believe there's always a chance. It's never impossible.
Cool. I think during 2020, you started the movement of survivors with other artists. And at that time, the lockdown on COVID-19, but how was it possible to bring different artists from around the globe to start this movement? Or tell us about the movement of survivors.
Right. Well, during the pandemic, I had connected with, and I actually connected with this person years before, but we reconnected during the pandemic. His name is Juan Cristiani. He's a producer from Uruguay. And we started talking about the fact that we wanted to work on a song related to the pandemic that would give hope to those that are alone, lonely, without anyone out there, who are suffering during the pandemic. He's actually really well known for his work within music and art and climate change. So he, for example, he has a project out now, a short film called "Where Are You From?" and I'm actually a voiceover in that. That's about climate change and how the world is changing, and how we are killing, in a way, our natural world, through much of what we are doing. But uh, with him, we decided to write something more based on the pandemic, and him and I worked on the song called "Survivors." So I wrote the lyrics for the most part and the melody, and he did the music. And what he did is we brought together 29 musicians from all over the world to be a part of the song. So the violinist is from France, for example. We have an amazing opera singer who joined from Uruguay, who won Uruguay's Got Talent. So we wanted to really connect all these musicians and show that even though we're separated and far apart, that we're not alone, that we are still together. And that was the hope that we wanted to spread with Survivors. So we did that a lot through social media, and just connecting with people in general.
Well, that's cool. So, you work mostly with young people and the youth, just mostly advocating for human rights and the sustainable development goals. One of the most important agenda that the youth have. Just want to see like which article are you passionate about and how art can help shape the future of addressing the issues of sustainable development goal when it comes to young people.
Well, I would say definitely quality education is my main focus. Um, and of course, inequality. But however, through education is, I feel, how we're going to make a change. People knowing about not only the sustainable development goals, but about the specifics of each one. So, for example, with my focus on discrimination, which is also in the Declaration of Human Rights. Through music, I've been able to educate about discrimination and about how wrong bullying is. And like I mentioned, in Taiwan, a kid coming up to me saying that they were now going to look out for bullying and make sure it doesn't happen. Or that they understand now not to discriminate against other cultures. So, because I do music and I do art, art can be a very powerful tool to educate or to inspire. So that's why I believe a lot in the power of art, to educate and to make a difference. I actually wrote a thesis for my college about how music can be effective as music activism, and to make a change in society. And a lot of it had to do with my research. My research had a lot to do with education and how people change their minds because of what they now know.
What, where is
So
it
that
available? Do you have it available online or?
I don't have it online. I actually uh, am looking to get it published at some point, and edit it. But I do have a small portion of it in a book that was published, called Hispanic Stars Rising. And they published like a small portion of it along with a lot of other Hispanic leaders who got published of their own stories as well. Um, but it's something I'm definitely looking to publish. I really love writing, so writing is another passion of mine.
Cool. That's really wonderful. Just take you, you. I think you study Spanish in your mom like school. Uh, when you perform in Spanish or when we are in international stage, where do you feel comfortable? Do you feel comfortable when you perform back home or when you travel to a different country? Where do you feel home
Ooh,
and the art belong to?
that's funny. That's an interesting question because I actually, in a way, feel more comfortable traveling abroad. And I think it's because music has this intense power to connect people. I've noticed when when I travel and sing in other countries, people really are invested in it, because it's someone that's coming from another country, and they love it, and they're wondering who this person is, or maybe they already know me and they want to get to know me, and it's I would say it's such an electrifying, inspiring experience to perform abroad and internationally. I've only done it a number of times and definitely want to continue to do it, but I would say from my experience, they have been some of the most amazing experiences of my life. But performing at home, of course, it's a little different because often it's people either that you already know or that know you for a long time, and it's almost like revisiting an old friend, and hanging out with your best friends in a way, and I do love that. So they're both really valuable, and they both feel incredible in their own ways. So I would say home, of course, would feel more like either performing somewhere like Latin America or performing here in the US. But I would say that if we're talking about this life changing, incredible connection kind of experience, it would be more internationally.
So you have received many awards. The Hispanic organization, of Latin Actors Breakthrough Award, and also the prestigious Presidential Volunteer Service Award for your advocacy work, and letter of recognition from the New York State Governor, and also the legislative state of New Jersey, and many politicians. And also you perform and have been in international platforms with many government officials, with many advocates. How did that feel like?
Well, it's an honor. I mean, I never imagined to be receiving awards for um, the work that I do. I do it because I love it and that I'm passionate about it, and I love the feeling of being on a stage and of connecting with people, making new friends. I've definitely made a lot of friends over the years, just within my work, whether they're international or here in the U.S. Um, but it's an honor, and um, I feel very happy that my music has connected with people and has made some kind of change. And I think that's the goal ultimately. Um, Not particularly to receive the awards, but the awards, of course, give a bit of a push of knowing that wow, this really did connect. But for example, I did just receive the award of the Marvin Hamlish International Music Award under contemporary music, presented by Clive Davis, and that was incredible. It was when I just got back from Thailand. I remember I had the flu and I was watching it, and
Oh,
but
congratulations.
but it was very unexpected. It was for one of the songs off my album called Flying On, which is an inspirational song actually about following your dreams and moving forward no matter the negative things that may have happened in your past. So it's nice to see that inspirational music has a big place in the world, and it doesn't just get left behind, or overshadowed by pop culture or by anything that's on the radio now, right?
So I think I have a question. Like, if you went back to 6 years old Sophia, uh, what would you tell yourself? What career would you choose? Would you still be a singer, or you want to be an actor? And also that's related how your future will look like.
Hmm. Um, well, I still do act and sing at the same time. In fact, the other night I did a stage reading for a play, but I feel like those are two things that you can connect in a way. The arts, no matter how different maybe one may be from the other, they're all interconnected. So it's something that I still do both of. Um, but if I were to go back to 6 year old Sophia, I mean, I'd of course give some advice for how to deal with anything in the future that may come along, or things that maybe I shouldn't have done, or opportunities that maybe like maybe I shouldn't have done this. But I would still choose the exact path that I'm on. I feel like everything happens for a reason, and the universe kind of brings you these gifts, and these opportunities for a reason. And I mean, I could have chosen to not take any of them, but I did because I felt it, and it was the natural thing to do, because I feel it's a part of who I am. So I wouldn't change anything. Now, as for my future, uh, I definitely see myself working in music, continuing to be a singer songwriter, and seeing, of course, like any singer songwriter would say, seeing my music on the radio and seeing it connect with a lot more people, performing live a lot more, touring the world, which would be a dream, even more than now. More like maybe with my albums, etc. But I also am really passionate about a few other things. So I feel like I would love to be in a film. I've been in short films, but like a more feature film, or on TV or film, and I'd love to write a fiction book as well as get published my thesis on music activism. So I definitely have a lot of dreams and goals for the future. But ultimately what I see is me, first of all, being able to live off 100% my music and my art, and to be able to use my platform, and grow my platform, and have the influence to actually help others even more, and to maybe even create my own nonprofit related to music activism. But the goal ultimately is to affect change through the arts.
That's wonderful. I really like your energy. Just when you are by yourself, or doing any kind of activity, what do you sing? What always come? What song came to your heart?
Like a specific song that comes to my heart.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I have two. um, One is "I Will Always Love You" by Whitney Houston,
Oh,
because it's literally, it has followed me around everywhere I go. Like, that's the song that I sang at that family party when I was 12, and the reason that I sang at the United Nations in the first place.
mhm.
um, and since then, everything, like a lot of things that I've done, they've asked me for that song. It's just followed me. And every time I've ever sung that song, it's almost like something amazing happens, some opportunity happens. So it's like a blessing song for me. And I would say not particularly a song, but a musical. It's Phantom of the Opera. Um, so I fell in love with Phantom of the Opera when I was 7. It's like one of my obsessions. I think I don't get obsessed easily, but this is an obsession. No, but it's what inspired me to start singing when I was 7. It's one of the things. I saw the movie, then the Broadway show, and I fell in love with the music, and I started singing it all the time. And one of my dreams is to be Christine, in Phantom of the Opera one day, the main character. But I started out in opera and in musical theater, because of that. And I only got into pop when I started writing my own music. So that's a fun fact.
Yeah, I think this is what when I was researching, but now it changed to something else. You just conclude to us by singing Whitney Houston, whatever you like.
Sure. I saw your reaction during Whitney Houston. You were like,
Yeah,
I want
it's one of the one of my favorite songs as well.
to.
I think this is how also music now connect us
Yes, very true. Especially that song. It's just such a powerhouse of a
over
song.
generation. Yeah.
Yes, and it extends generations. Like, people in my mom's generation love it, and people in my generation love it. It's just,
Oh,
it's a song that's never going to die.
mm.
um, but I can sing a little portion of it.
Oh, sure. Welcome.
All right. And I will always love you. I will always love you. I will always love you. I will always love
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sophia Angelica.
Thank you. This was a wonderful discussion. I enjoyed it
It
very
is. It was, and we have a lot of interaction, especially from young people. I
amazing.
think yeah, it's also, and I think a lot of people getting inspired and connected through music in different parts of the world.
Well, feel free to connect with me further on social media under at Sophia Angelica Music with a PH. Feel free to send me a message and connect.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time and the wonderful conversation. And thank you for coming to Four Direction. Hope to see you soon again.
Thank you. Yes, hope to be back again.
Thank you so much, Sophia. Have a good
Thanks,
day.
Mary.
Thank you. Thank you for watching Four Direction today. My guest for today was Sophia Angelica. She's an advocate. She's a songwriter, singer, and advocate. My name is Mary Apollo, and I'm the host for Four Direction. See you in a different show, different episode. We have different guests. Have a good day. Bye.